feel like we should go this way. I know this is a way. Is that a cigarette? There's a cigarette. It's sealed. I'll go for that one. Oh, he's gonna be in here. He's not gonna like what we did. Oh.
You want to know what gets my bile churning?
What's up?
Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
Teach you a lesson.
Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me.
You heard the right idea to me. You're all slaves to space's choice.
Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked to be liberated. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. Apologies won't give us our lives back, but for what it's worth, I am sorry too. Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Space's choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
Something's not right. Maybe I'm getting paranoid.
Everyone all right? Where are we headed?
Oh dear.
What are we supposed to do now?
Exercise patience and contemplate the scriptures.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please. Hell of a time to start looking for work. Lucky for you, I am authorized to hire freelancers even during times of crisis. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual? You're correct. An outstanding bounty has been posted for information pertaining to the whereabouts of Phineas V. Wells. I am obliged to warn you against forming acquaintanceships, friendships, partnerships, or any felicitous relationship with a wanted criminal. I am also obliged to inform you of our referral program. For every criminal you refer to the authorities, the board will reward you. I'm obliged to remind you that questioning the veracity of the board's orders is a punishable offense. Consider this your last warning. Wells has been wanted for as long as the board decides he has been wanted. This decision will be made in accordance with Wells's behavior upon arrest. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority.
Of course.
I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority. I represent Spacer's Choice. Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics,
Okay.
which is itself a member of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Also, I specialize in processing fingerprints, so unless you're carrying Wells's finger on you, there's not a lot I can do for you.
Fair enough.
Any information regarding outstanding bounties and wanted criminals should be directed to Mr. Udom Bedford. Mr. Bedford's office is located on the Groundbreaker. Halcyon's original colony ship, now repurposed into a space station. Mr. Udom Bedford represents the board's interest on the groundbreaker. Something else I can do for you?
No, that's perfectly fine. Thank you.
Somebody's been rambling about some colony ship. I wonder what that's about.
So she has given me another job. We'll get some bounties, shall we? I don't know if I'd get a glass for every class. They are quite far out. Let's see if we can actually get any closer to any of them. I think there was no hospital. Oh, yeah, there's a couple down there. Right, let's see, can I now fast travel? Yeah. Presenters in our midst. It's for a way of life. I'm going to tell her.
You hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the veil like the winds of change. You've done well.
Thank you.
I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence.
You have an info,
My
don't you?
son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
I want to hear more of it, but it won't bring some back.
Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past. Time's come to look toward the future. You'll grow, I expect.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go. Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock.
Well,
Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties and live the way nature intended. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life. You're not quite like anyone else I've met.
thanks.
You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Huh? Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Fair enough. Right. Let's go do some fetching. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum. first target is over here. How do I get up there?
Here they come!
Oh, hello. Nope.
That's the last of them!
You might as well. Hello.
Gonna find you!
Incoming!
We're gonna have to go the old-fashioned route. Don't go down there. A dumb stick? Oh, hunting rifle. That's useful. This is just one planet. Anyway. Let's get moving. What's the next one? Ow. So we'll go for this one down here. Well, that's a... We did a lot of bad things here, haven't we?
Here we go! Nice one!
Wow, that did not go as planned. Got any content? Assault rifle. Assault rifle. Hunting. 53. What's next? Hmm. Let's see how much distance we really do. That one.
Here we go. Nice hit. Down they go. Got 'em all.
So that's another one down. Who gave me, I think, a piece of armor actually. Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Sure. On my way. On my way. All right, I'm on the move. I'm on my way.
What's that? Oh, hello.
Here they come!
Killed a mega creature. That was a mega creature? We are nearly there. I'll go to this place. I know there is a thing in here. I can use to sell the stuff I've got on me. Because I don't need it at all. I found new thing. It's just making me go slow. Here it is. Alright. Yeah, we can move again now. Right, let's go sort out this next finger. What the hell is that? I don't like it. I really don't like that. Did I attack it? I love a boa. Ugh. Creepy things. Oh, I didn't like that one bit. That thing deserved to die. I mean, it didn't deserve to die, but I just didn't like it. Of course.
Okay, here we go. Don't mess with us.
I just need to go and turn them in.
I used to skip rocks in the river till Constable Reyes ticketed me for unlicensed terraforming. I think she was jealous. She don't know how to skip rocks her own self.
Where's that thing? Oh no, where we are. I wonder if the guards would like us. For God's sake, no. We didn't go out. Oh, that's what I'm worried to see. Not the worst until it's post-worst.
Hello? Are you still there?
The power's out in the whole town. Pipe down.
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant.
I can't possibly cut anyone's hair in the dark. You found Eugene's teeth? What? Where? How? McDevitt? The old flavor specialist? That is just grotesque.
Yeah.
I suppose I should be grateful. You've saved me some trouble and no small amount of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine.
So he was found out.
Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. The paranoia drove him to take his own life. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with the suicide.
Power's gone. Law knows how long. Looking to get drunk?
Go ahead. I've talked enough about my past.
Let's go see Reyes.
What are we supposed to do now?
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please.
Okay. Here.
We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. He was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me?
I do indeed.
Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine.
Nope.
Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork.
I do have the finger.
Here we are. Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint to ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus.
Thank you.
You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations. Let me stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all Marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people.
Okay.
Marauders are folk who lost the will to keep working, wandered out into the wilds and gave into their baser instincts. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn Marauder. None of them get my sympathy.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I recall young Eugene. Good kid. Nice smile. Fussy about his health, though. Took a little too much adrenatime. That'll do a number on your brain matter. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of adrenatime. What's on your mind?
That's right. Oh. Put that to you. Scare me sometimes. I think that is everything we need to do here. And this is already gone. Let's just go back. Put the orb in.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship. Working on a real engine. Belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post.
Yeah.
I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
What would you want to go?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I had my misgivings about Miss McDevitt and the deserters, but you took pity on them and sent power to their garden even though you knew Mr. Thompson would hate you for it. All this time, you've been determined to get your regulator back, get your ship up and running, and cut a path out of this place. And well, I want in. Not much of an Edgewater left to go back to.
Sorry.
My whole life's been small. I realized that when you walked into town. I've been seeing the same faces every day, the same sky, the same stars. Then I saw this ship. This gorgeous, stately lady with her eyes turned skyward, and I made up my mind to come along with you.
Come on.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Alright, let me...
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator?
No, I don't.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Thank you.
Where are we headed?
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters.
Nice.
I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Get out. Install odds, the Unreliable takes flight.